Colleen, Ron, how are you?
Good. How are you?
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you. So what's going on? How was your weekend?
Great.
Yeah.
Hot.
Very hot, yeah.
Scorcher.
What'd you do for the 4th?
Beach and some family barbecues, but I get roasted in the sun, so.
There you go.
Yeah, real quick.
So home just lotioning up, I guess. Afterwards,
Oh,
huh?
yeah. For sure.
Awesome. So let's get right down to it. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up on the South Shore, Long Island, Babylon area, and then
I'm from Glen Cove.
Glen Cove.
North Shore. Yeah.
Married? How long?
We're going on 6 months.
Oh,
Almost
congrats.
7 months.
7 months,
Okay,
yeah.
7 months.
7 months. There you go. Wow, that's pretty awesome. How'd you guys meet?
We met at a concert just before COVID, and at that time it was probably 2 weeks, and then everything shut down. So we just stayed connected through FaceTime, which was pretty cool. And I was never the guy to do that.
Yep.
So something changed, and it all really worked out well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I've been ever since.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Partners
concert?
in life and business.
What concert was it?
It was a Brett Young concert.
So country
artist.
music.
Okay, there you go. Not familiar with it, but I'll take your word it's good.
Yeah.
Not a music guy, really. I might go see Creed, I think, a couple of days. Yeah, so I haven't been to a concert in years, though. Yeah, I'm not a big music guy.
We just went to Jones Beach with our parents to Beach Boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How
it
was
was
that?
pretty cool. It was
July
pretty cool.
5th.
Yeah, it was a
Beach
good time.
Boys.
Yeah.
You're too young for the Beach Boys, right?
I know.
They put on a good concert.
big fans.
Yeah.
How old are they? They got to be in their 70s.
Yeah,
Holy
they're
sh-
pushing it, yeah.
Yeah,
Did they-
John Stamos was there too, so that was a highlight.
What's he doing?
He does the drums.
yeah, he's one of the drummers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Stamos?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
For the Beach Boys. Holy shit, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. You learn
Yeah.
something every day, right?
Exactly.
What did you do when you seen John Stamos? Was it like everyone scream or was it?
All the women. Yeah.
Oh,
Me,
yeah.
I was just like, oh,
I hope not. Well, I'm not saying yeah. So, he's got to be up there too.
Yeah, well, you knew his age.
61 years old.
I can't say anything about that because I'm climbing up there. So, that's 7 more years for that. Oh shit! But all right, so you grew up in
Babylon.
and where'd you go to school?
I went to North Babylon High School, and then I went to CW Post before it was LIU Post now. And he actually went there too, but we did not cross paths just yet until later on.
Were you guys in the same year or?
No.
No.
Different.
No, I got a few
he's
years on her.
A few.
I wasn't saying anything. I'm not touching that one either. So, and then, what kind of work did you do prior to real estate?
I was a project manager at a web design company.
Okay.
So originally when I started real estate at Keller Williams, I was full-time there. And then we got married. We went on our honeymoon, and I was laid off. So very quickly transitioned into a full-time real estate professional. And that's pretty much how we learned the most during those challenging times, I would say, about not only the profession, but working full-time as husband and wife.
Before we even get there, because that's so.
I'm jumping.
Yeah. What did you do prior?
I was a CrossFit coach, and I was there from about 2016 to 2019.
What gym?
And CrossFit One Life. I don't know if it's still the same name, but just before COVID, I had left because we saw things a little differently. And then I started doing it on my own, nutrition and things like that. And then I got into real estate, and the rest is really history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long you doing real estate now?
So my dad was a general contractor, so I was really exposed to it basically my whole life.
Okay.
We, as a family, bought a bunch of investment properties, but then when COVID came around, we sold them all. And we're right now working on building our own portfolio.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, before we get into real estate or anything like that, how is it working with your wife every day? Or your husband at that point?
Yeah.
That has to be tough.
So when we first started, it was,
But great, I'm sure,
Yeah, we
too.
were excited. Yeah. We were excited and everything is great. But then, conflicts come in and we have to work through them. But the one thing we started doing is all we did was talk about work. And we had to put that to the back burner sometimes to connect. And without that, then there's really nothing there. And yes, sometimes it's challenging.
Has to be, yeah.
You know, it's challenging. But if we don't have a firm structure, a firm foundation, then it'll just collapse. So
That must be
important.
constant. It's just constant work, right? Because you're home eating dinner. And so, okay, this client,
Yeah.
that client,
Oh,
this one,
yeah.
this one.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to jump back into talking about that. So we've established some boundaries. I think the biggest thing for us as husband and wife working together was there was a point where we were navigating, oh, what are our responsibilities? What are your duties? What are mine? And there was a point where we were trying to teach each other our strengths. And that
It's interesting.
just... And that's not really the best model, I would say. We've learned to overcome that and really focus on what each of us individually brings to the table and staying in our lane, so to speak.
Just give her
So-
all the credit. You're good.
That's
Best
basically
advice.
what I do.
Pretty much it. You know. I don't work with my wife, but I work with somebody like my wife. Just give her all the credit. You're golden.
Yep, exactly.
That's all you have to do.
Right.
100%. You're good. So, and then what are you looking to build now? You said you came to Keller Williams a year ago, right? Mm-hmm. And what's it been like? What are you looking to? You said you're building your portfolio. Explain to me
Yes,
what that's like, what you're looking to do, and,
so
and tell everybody.
What I've noticed with Keller Williams is that there are so many resources available that are given to you, but you have to work for them. And what I have noticed is that there are so many avenues you can take, and people really want to help. I was with another brokerage before, and there was not mentioned once.
How long are you in the business?
We're going on a year and a month
Keller,
or
right?
so. Yeah, yeah. I was with Coldwell Banker before for about
Okay.
a month and a half. And throughout that whole time, not a long time, but investments were never spoken about. It was basically just retail, sell, sell, sell. And there was that's not what I wanted. And when I came to Keller Williams, I saw that there's so much help with building your portfolio and just coming across individuals who have the same mindset and not wanting to just go out and say, hey, we're gonna go and find buyers, we're gonna go and do these listings. No, people are looking to build generational wealth, and that's what we want. That's basically how we started in real estate. When we first started dating, she was creating spreadsheets for me of properties in Florida that I was looking at.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I didn't know how to do spreadsheets.
Sure, of course
but
not.
that's
So
where
you're
it
learning.
started.
And I
Just
had
give her all
no
the
clue
credit.
what I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
doing with these properties.
And that's
listing
really
them,
where
but-
it started. The seed started to sprout, and I mean, here we are now, and we're really looking to do some really big things, and we're really excited about it.
That's pretty awesome. So let's get back into what you guys are doing with your portfolio. What are you looking to accomplish? Where are you accomplished? Are you buying in Florida? Explain to everybody why. What's the?
So,
If you don't mind me asking.
no, absolutely, no, absolutely. So, we had a couple properties in New York. A couple were upstate Buffalo, and then one was actually where we are now. And during COVID, we ran into some real challenges, and
Tenant challenges.
What was that?
tenant
Tenant
challenges.
challenges.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And what happened is we realized quick that we don't want anything to do with New York as far as investing in buy and holds. Maybe if we find a couple of flips, sure. But anything with landlord tenant, absolutely not. So that's why we look at Florida. We like Florida because we vacation there all the time. So it just makes sense. And right now, what's going on in Florida, it's a huge buyer's market. So that's where we're looking to.
Yeah.
really-
When did that turn? Because that was a couple of years ago. It was a seller's market.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we looked down there in 2021, 2022, and
Untouchable.
Yeah, nothing.
Close to
no
New York,
way.
yeah.
Absolutely not. But now it's like, it's go time.
In the past few months, it's crashing.
It is. Yeah, I've seen
The
that.
market's crashing.
And
so-
and then what are you
Definitely
what are
not
you looking for in Florida? Are you looking for 6 families, 12 families, single homes? What are you looking to?
So single family, duplex. But the reason why we like Florida is because people, they travel there, and what we're looking for is to set up short-term rentals, so Airbnb, VRBO, things like that.
Sure.
But then if we're looking, let's say we want to stay up close to the Northeast, maybe Connecticut, Rhode Island for multifamilies, buy and hold and things like that.
You ever go to Mass or anything like that?
I haven't looked into Massachusetts, but it is right there,
I know a couple of people making a killing up there.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. You're getting a lot of the, I forget what they're called, but the bigger buildings, the 80 families. And,
Yeah.
they're making a killing on the Section 8.
Yes, yeah. Section 8, I didn't really dive too much into, but I heard if it's right, it works really
Works
well.
yeah.
Really well.
I did it in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is another place you're looking at around the Poconos.
That's what I had.
Yeah.
I made my mistake of selling them, though. But we had them, and that was my biggest mistake, and my biggest challenge was, it's not that I don't know how to hold. We have a few properties left, but it's back when I was coming up, I was playing in the field with some really big players, and it just I needed to just dump them instead of holding them just to get my cash flow up and running. And it killed me because I was around. I'm sure you guys remember it. I don't know if you were involved in it. The RCR days where you were getting deals in the city for nothing. You were just taking over like zombie homes and then rebuilding them and doing the interest on. It was sick. It's a whole episode. It took me on 2 hours to explain it, but you were able to make a ton of money. This is back when the Clinton days when they were everybody should own a home.
Yeah.
And but the interesting thing about it was they went to the locals first, and then nobody bought. So then they came to people like myself, and we were able to go in there and purchase. I owned a lot of stuff in Astoria back in the day.
Oh, okay.
That we were able to, buy and flip and, constantly turn it over. It was a great market back in the, mid to early 2000s. And then, like you said, I pretty much got out of the whole rental business because, it just didn't pay in New York for me. But I know a lot of people are still making a killing and still interested in doing it. And I thought about it hard because, again, whatever, I look at it this way. This is when you take advantage of a market, is when it is down like that, and when people are looking not to buy and sell, and looking to dump. So you pick up because, again, it will turn eventually.
Absolutely.
It's going to come back into into a landlord favor state eventually.
Yes.
At least I believe that. It wouldn't have got to where it is if New York wouldn't be New York without that. So it is interesting. But you guys were saying that you got into like the wealth building and all of that. Tell me about that. Are you involved in it with Linda?
Yes, we are.
Explain to me what that's all about.
So I was in finance years ago before I was a coach.
Okay.
And that's what really opened my eyes.
What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for criminal justice. I wanted to be in the FBI, I wanted to really do that, and I really pursued it. I had a passion for it. But
Did you go to John Jay or?
I went to.
You went to LA. That's right. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I had a passion for that. And I really wanted to do that.
What was their law program like?
Tough. It was tough. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do well in the science classes because I wanted to get into the CSI, things like that.
Did you do police science? Did you do?
Yes, I did. And I was doing great in the probation and parole. I did really great. But,
I remember that class, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
I actually did an internship in Nassau County for probation. And I was walking around with the handcuffs. I was like, big shot. It was really cool, yeah. And then I started just, hanging around with the wrong people and did some things that weren't the greatest, and it just kind of just.
Then you had the FBI looking at you. Yeah. Totally different story.
Yeah.
How do you get to real estate?
So then after that, I got into finance, and that really opened my eyes on,
It's a big change, law to finance, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's huge. I mean, I've been in almost every industry, and I just couldn't find my niche, but I found it now. I guess it's because she's involved in it, and that's really
you enjoy
why,
it.
Yeah.
It's like they say, if you enjoy working, it's not work.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So it's
the investment club that Linda has put on, and Frank. I mean, it's just been incredible. Just a wealth of knowledge. I remember the first meeting that I went to, and they said, just go around and tell us something. And I remember telling them, I said, it's taken me 15 years to get into a room like this. And I was just so grateful because since then, I mean, that was a year ago, and everything has just expanded so much.
Yeah.
And, once you expand something, it's very difficult to bring it back.
So
you're
true.
Always looking to grow.
What are you getting out of it? Like, what are you?
One of the most recent classes was about self-directed IRAs. Years ago, I've heard about this, and I knew it was great for real estate, but I was like, I have a Roth IRA, I got the IRA, 401k, whatever it is, and I didn't know too much about it. But this recent class was so powerful because there's so much more you can do with it and have control over it. Instead of just having it in an account where it's sitting and, you know, Joe Smith is running it and you don't really have that communication to say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. You have control over this, and it's really incredible.
Wow, that's pretty cool. When does she have the classes for everyone to?
She has once a month, and then every quarter there's one for the entire region, which is really amazing too. And that's usually in the city.
You guys do anything together, or are you looking to?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Right?
Is that doing? There you go. What's she doing? Like syndications and.
She's been talking about that. Yeah, she's been talking about that, and that's something we're definitely interested in also.
Sure, that's pretty cool. Did you ever think when you were getting into real estate, this is what it would be like, especially with the wealth part, where you would come to a company and you're talking about something totally different from buying and selling? Or?
Not at all.
How about yourself?
Not at all.
Absolutely not. When I got my real estate license, I was just following his lead, seeing where it took me, and I met somebody at Keller Williams. She told me all about Keller Williams, and I think I was on board the next week.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, the different opportunities, the education, the connections, and how eye-opening it is. So all the different possibilities of where your license can take you and where being in this business can really take you, even as an everyday person without a license, essentially.
That's pretty cool. And then with the wealth, are you using that with your clients at all, or?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, because this stuff is not taught in school. None of this stuff is taught in school. So it's up to us to educate and provide the value for them. And I think that that's the key right there. That's the key. Because a lot of people, they're first-time home buyers, and now they just inherited a bunch of debt. What are they going to do with it? So that's where we go in and we teach them these things. And ultimately, it's up to them if they want to go ahead and pursue that, but at least we provide them the value.
Absolutely.
So as a team, like take me through that. What is it like working together and like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, how do you separate it? Like, because I never had a husband-wife team on. I don't think I even heard a podcast with a husband and wife team on, believe it or not. I saw teams, but husband and wife, I've never had on together, which is pretty cool for me. So that's why I was excited about having this conversation. But again, without getting too deep into your business, is like, what are you handling, and then what are you handling? And like we said, how do you not talk about it every night, like when you're together, like when you're sitting there watching Gravesend on TV or something like that? What is it like? What are you looking to do? What are you looking to specialize in, or not specialize, because I know you do it all, but what do you?
Absolutely. So I focus more on the social media, the lead generation, events, the buy or sell side, and Ronnie.
I focus on we look at foreclosures. So, I mean, she's great with the social media. I have nothing to do with that. I don't want to do anything with that because I'm just lost in that field. Marketing is all her. But what I go out and is I establish the connections. I establish the relationships and start building that and planting the seeds. So basically, more so lead generating.
Okay.
What we've been really doing is drilling down into our farm area, which is our neighborhood. And honestly, I think that could be the most beneficial for newer agents who are concerned about, hey, where do I get leads from? What do I do? Your local community is the greatest area to be a part of, because you live in the community, and anyone who lives in a community, I'm sure that they want to help somehow. So we set up. We told people about Red Day, which was amazing. I love that Keller Williams does that. We're going to be setting up a food drive. And
What did you guys do for Red Day?
The Ronald McDonald House.
Okay.
We got the Ronald McDonald House with the Gold Coast office. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's
Just
awesome.
being able to help families. I mean, that's where we come from a heart of service and wanting to help people and just do what's right. That's why I think farming out your local community is the most beneficial, because people who have a license and are just waiting to get a paycheck and say, okay, I made some money, most likely they're not going to last in any industry, really, unless, I mean, that's their main focus.
Sure.
But if you're not helping people and you're not serving others, I mean,
What's the point?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yep.
You want to help. You want to add value. And just like I was saying before, everything that we have learned and are learning it was not taught in school. So it's so important to get out there and let people know about these things.
So what's the value that you guys as a team bring to your everyday clients?
You're looking at me to
Oh,
answer?
no. So being a husband and wife team, I truly feel that families who are together and they have a loving family, but they may not know where to go. They have all these maybe hidden dreams, and they're just scared to pull a trigger. So when we started to date, I've always dreamt of having a partner in life and in business. And to be honest, I never thought that this would happen. And that's kind of like where we saw each other going, and everything started to kind of fall into place with that. And as far as providing value to others, the biggest thing that we provide is us, our example.
So I figured, yeah.
who we are, and what we're striving to do. I mean, every year that since we started dating, from December 2020, we've created a vision board together. I've been doing this since I've been 18 years old, but we started doing it every year. And whether
So you're doing it now 2-3 years now? Because
yeah, whether,
21 years old right now?
yeah.
Over your head there.
I wish. Whether it happens or not, it's the importance of seeing what we want and where we see our life going.
Yeah, I believe in that.
And with other couples, whether they're married or not, we can provide that value to them and show them, hey, look, this is what you can do. We can show you how to get there.
How? God, I'm sorry. You gonna say that?
I think another thing is we both bring so many different things to the table. So, your ideal husband and wife, they're total opposites in most instances.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it must be different going out with somebody that's two. Right?
Exactly.
So with two people,
you bring a couple out to see some houses, it's likely one will be drawn to him and one will be drawn to me, and somehow we can make that transaction easier for both of them with the confidence that they're working with a team that, hey, my real estate professional understands me. My real estate professional also understands my spouse, and it gives them that level of confidence. But I think for us, bringing that value add of education and everything that we have been learning, just to the basis of the transaction where it comes to your financial foundation, is so huge. What happens if a similar situation as I was in, where I was laid off right after wedding, honeymoon, and we say we just purchased our first home together?
Wow.
What do you do if you're not prepared for that type
so
of
let me ask you this, and this is,
So,
if you don't mind going into this,
of
right?
course.
Were you prepared for it when that happened, or was it something you thought would possibly happen, or were you caught off guard, or?
I did have a feeling that it would happen just because I am that forward thinker. My initial plan was to have that as basically my backbone as I was transitioning into real estate. So I did have a sense that was happening.
So are you a planner, or are you one of those people that just goes with the flow?
What would you say? I'm kind of a messy planner.
That's awesome. Messy planner.
Disorganized planner, but I try to stay on track and see what's coming down the pipeline. He definitely has helped me with that, though, as well, in terms of financial foundations and having those resources to prepare, because nobody really knows what's next. Nobody knows what tomorrow's going to bring.
Right.
And the best way to be prepared for that is to have all the resources and education available to us.
So what is it like going out with you guys to see a house? How many houses do you show to each couple? What is that like? Are you going deep into it? If I come to you me and my wife are coming to you to buy a home, and we're looking, how many houses how long am I going to be out there with you? What are we going to do? What's that like? Take me through the day.
Typically, we would go to whatever they were first initially interested in, but we're firm believers in getting down to what are you looking for, what's your must, what's your nice to haves, what can you live with. The more focused you are on a search, the less long it'll take to get your results, essentially. So if you're just wandering with 20 different towns in mind and, you have a laundry list of 50 things that you must have, let's be realistic. You're not going to find that. So the more intentional we get with our search, the faster we'll get those results. But it essentially also comes down to their timeline. Not everybody wants to find that perfect house in week one. They kind of want to be looking loosely.
Yep.
Right. So it's important to understand your client, not only for what they're looking for in a home, but who they are as a person and what their actual goals are.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the most important, is building that relationship with them. This way, it's not just a one and done transaction. It's just lifelong.
No, you're 100% right, because you're looking to build a relationship with them and the
exactly.
referrals and everything. But how? Again, it's interesting to me because there's two people involved. So like what me and Jeannie always did was, I've been at a sale now for 15 years now, so I haven't touched a sale in a while. But from what I remember, it would be okay. Your client, you deal with it. My client, I deal with it. But when you're working together, what is that like? How do you pick which client to work with? How do you know, like, you're going to be on the same page? You got to be on the same page all the time with the clients too, right? Because you don't want to keep asking them the same question over and over again. So take me through like something like that. What is that like?
Absolutely.
It has to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's communication. It's just knowing that we are on the same page. And in the beginning, we had to work all this stuff out. And there was communication, but it was a little bit of lack of communication, where they wouldn't fall through the cracks. It's just things weren't said, hey, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. And then it's like one or the other of us is having to catch up. And that caused a little bit of conflict, because we don't want us to look bad in front of the clients or in front of anybody. So we had to work these kinks out and figure it out. And I think it's just the most important thing is open communication about knowing, hey, what's the next step and who's doing the next step. Have we perfected our system yet? No, but we're working towards it. Yeah, we're working towards it, and we're really getting much better and more crystal clear on who does this, who does that, and who's going to do this, and bring it all together.
You said something funny there, like perfected the system. When you do perfect it, it changes anywhere in this business, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, absolutely.
The minute you do something where it's perfect, it's out the door. Something's changed, and
Absolutely.
now you got to perfect something totally different.
Yep.
It's got to be challenging. But so what else? What else are you guys doing with the real estate? Like, what are you looking to accomplish out there? Like, how many deals are you looking to do a year? Like, what does that look like? What's your goals? What on the buy side and the portfolio side? Like, what are you looking to accomplish there? We were talking about Florida early. What's the states that you're looking to buy in? What are you doing to get there?
So back in December of 2024, we wrote our goals. We had them all down.
Awesome.
And the goals were 6 listing transactions, 6 buyer transaction, 2 fix and flips, and 100 units in our portfolio. And doesn't matter, 100 doors, whatever it was. We're not close to them, but we're getting closer. Like I said, it's like we have a vision. If we don't hit everything, we're getting closer to it.
That's all you could do.
I think the most important thing year one in this business was establishing us as real estate professionals and showing that we do have that value and that education. And now we're finally seeing the traction from those efforts, and it's now beginning to grow. So a lot of real estate professionals, they come in, they think that they're just going to make a killing, start capping year one. At least that's what I thought and believed. But it does take time, and you need to have that confidence when you are walking into a room and sitting down with clients. And it does take time and that knowledge. So now I think those goals would be reasonable for next year for us to
You still got plenty of
absolutely
time. And you'll hit them. I always also believe you set goals. You don't set them too high, but you set them high enough where you got to reach them.
Exactly.
And I think I think it's reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, 100 doors. Where are the 100 doors? What does that look like?
So Florida, Connecticut, Rhode Island, around those areas. And
Alabama.
Alabama's nice, yeah.
Maybe even Ohio.
Why Ohio?
Well, the woman who brought Colleen into the business has become such a really great friend and mentor to us, and she's got, I don't even know how many properties over there.
In Ohio?
And, yeah.
What part?
Cleveland. Yeah.
So you know you have to talk to Matt Stouffer in my office in New York City. He's actually from Cleveland.
Okay.
He was he's actually his family was the largest real estate brokers in Cleveland, I believe it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Stouffer family, yeah.
Oh okay.
They're with Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
And then he actually came to Keller.
Oh wow.
Great people, yeah, awesome town. Yeah, have you ever been? I'm sure you've been to Cleveland before, right?
Yes. Yeah. Once.
Pretty cool town. It really is. It's been a cool town.
Yeah.
What are you looking for outside, and then how do you look to? Because I'm curious on this because I'm doing the same exact thing.
Okay.
What do you look for, and then how are you going to put it in place, and how's it going to be handled? Like I'm doing stuff with Frank, right? Because again, I don't want to. I don't like to focus on something that I know I can't handle. So I used to be one of those guys, and Frank was in my old mastermind meetings where it would be okay. I need 51% of everything if I'm going to get involved. Now it's like, all right, just give me 10%, give me 20%. You do all the work. I'm cool with that too, right? So what's your play? Like if me and you got into business, what is it going to look like?
So it has to make sense. It's got to make sense, first of all. Where was I going with this?
I thought you were going to go, well, Rich, we're not getting into
No,
business.
no, I'd love to. I'd absolutely love to. But, you know, for me, what I look for, right, is as little or no money down as possible out of my own pocket, right, because other people's money is most important. I don't want to lose our money and not your money, right? But does it cash flow? Right now, our goal is cash flow because cash flow is truly king.
Okay.
If we can find a fix and flip where it makes sense, sure. I think that the most important thing is to have a couple ways in, but at least 3 ways to exit, just in case. Because in real estate, you could see anything can really happen. Mm-hmm. Anything could go wrong. But I think the number one thing doing business out of state is having a strong team. And that team can consist of multiple people, you know. And I think one of the keys is to have a very powerful property management team. If you don't have that, then I mean, you know, who knows? I mean, if we've got a property out west somewhere, well, we don't know what's going on. This is someone we have to trust.
That's right.
So I think that again, it's all about relationships and building these strong trusts with people and growing from there.
Awesome. And then, so you're looking at Cleveland. Do you have, and then Florida, have you looked in Indiana at all? Or?
That was one state. I didn't look into it, but yeah, that was actually Frank had told me about Indiana.
Yeah, so me and Frank have a few properties in Indiana.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had family in Indiana, so I know the territory a little bit. I went down to Cleveland to see that. We were down there I think it was last June or July. I went down to check it out and to see what it's all about. I actually want to also look into Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I just, I'm thinking Illinois somewhat and try to play down in that little area over there. Carolinas, obviously. I don't know if you guys looked into that yet. But you're looking at 1 to 2 doors and angles like that, right? So have you looked at the bigger portfolios in these other towns?
So what we wanted to do is we were looking at places with 50-plus stores.
Okay.
But where we are now, I said, you know, let's just scale it back a little bit. Let's figure out what we can do because we really want to find a place that we can eventually call our home, and Florida being one of those.
Sure.
So what we have been looking for is not the primary, secondary, but the tertiary markets. Something that makes sense where people are going to start flooding to. Because people are really moving out of New York. When COVID came around, people flooded down to Florida. And we like Tampa, St. Pete area, and that's where it makes sense for us to go.
How are you
to
doing
do
that
things
research,
like
though?
Well, one of the most important things is to contact the economic development department and in that specific region, and they love to get on the phone and tell you everything that's going on because they're so proud of where they're from and proud of what they're doing. So that's one of the most important things to do.
Repeat that?
The economic development department.
Okay.
And in different states, it might be called a little something different, but that's basically where it is, yeah.
Okay. And then what do you look for after that, after you're doing that? So do you now look at the bigger portfolios? I know what you just said, it's a little tough to get in, and I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit here.
Sure.
So I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Are you looking at the bigger developments and then picking from them, picking and choosing off of those doors? Because again, it's not like a 100-unit building like we have in New York.
Yeah.
Most likely, if you get into something in Indiana or any of these other areas, Cleveland, or Alabama, I'm not sure how Florida and Alabama work, but the portfolios are usually houses that were converted into it's a big portfolio of a bunch of houses scattered around. Like in Indiana, you get something in Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Kokomo, and this and that. So when we look down there, I don't remember who told who. I think it was me talking to Frank about Indiana, and it was about the battery plant that was being built down there. So, we knew that at a time, and it was going to cause a lot of movement in the real estate market. That's what we chose to go over there for. St. Louis is another one I know people are going into. I don't know why, but I know guys and cats that are going out there and buying up in the St. Louis, Kansas City area and doing that market. Nashville was another one. Tennessee market was another big market where people were going in. But again, the research is important. And then, are you calling down and talking to a local Keller Williams agent down there?
Oh, yeah. I honestly, being in Keller Williams, I don't know if I would want to deal with any other agents. Because Keller Williams is so many great agents. And all you have to do is just call up the office and say, who's your best agent that works with investors? And they know exactly what to look for, what to do, and where to go.
It's funny you said that. I was down in Fort Wayne last summer, and my aunt passed away, so I go down there, and I walked into the Keller office, and I said, all right, this is what I'm looking for, exactly what you said. Within 30 minutes, it felt like I was putting offers in already. Yeah. It was the weirdest thing. It was just like, it was a Sunday, and I'm sitting here going, I come down for a funeral, and I'm buying 8 houses. And I'm closing tomorrow. What the hell's happening here? Right? It was like the weirdest thing.
Offer accepted.
It was the craziest thing. And then the title's already set up, and and I'm like, well, sign here. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even see the property yet. What's going on? But it was really interesting the way they do business. But you're right. When you have that trust, it's pretty much that easy to go out there and do it. And but it's exciting also, right? Because again, it's exciting because if you're gonna lose, you're not gonna lose bad, which is important. Again, we're in the real estate business, so all you have to do is really hold on to the property as long as you can afford it. In my opinion, and like you said, if you have less cash involved in it. It's not really a big loss if you got to sell it down the road. You just got to hold on and carry it. The carrying cost. Again, I don't want to get into anybody's pockets, but it's not like it is here. Where you're not getting killed with if you buy a house in New York where it's going to cost you $8,000 a month to hold it. Maybe $1,000, $2,000 in some of the properties that I own. Everything is down there because the taxes aren't the way they are here.
Yeah, that's a huge thing too.
It's massive.
Alabama is like $300 a year for taxes.
Insane, right? So it's not going to hurt you. You can go out there and get a part-time job and cover the expense, right? And I don't want to tell people that because then they're going to go out there and tell me, well, I did it. No. I'm working in 18 different McDonald's now trying to afford houses. That's not what I'm saying. But, be smart about it. Do your homework. But, the research I think is very important when you get into this line. And how did you guys get into it? Like what drove you to get into that kind of market? Like mine was my aunt, because my aunt was a big player in the city market and still is. She owns tons and tons of brownstones. And one of the things that I told her, she won't buy outside of New York. Like everything she owns is in New York City. She won't even buy outside of the city. She has to be in the city. And I remember doing business when working with her and still do was 10 times the rent roll she did. She didn't even go, any of the ways they do it today. It was 10 times the rent roll. If it's over that, I'm not buying it. And I remember people saying, well, you're not going to buy it. You're not going to get anything. Meanwhile, she doubled her portfolio. And her portfolio, when I started with her, I think it was like 50-something units.
Yeah.
And it's in the city, 50 buildings. She's doubled that. So it's like, if you're patient, you will find what you're looking for. It's just you got to be patient. Reason people don't find it is because they're not patient. And I'm the same way. You get overexcited sometimes and you make something stupid happen. Next thing you know, you shouldn't have done that. So you got to be careful with it. So again, getting back to it, what are you looking for in these other states and having experience, like talking to agents? Like what kind of advice can you give to somebody that's looking to do this?
So about 7-8 months ago, we wanted to purchase a property upstate because we go there all the time. And again, this is about what we wanted for our future.
Sure.
We weren't looking so much for cash flow or this and that at that time. We wanted to find a place where we can rent it out, mortgage can get paid off, and then we can call it our home. So we looked upstate or reached out to agents upstate, investor agents, and right away, sending me everything. Unbelievable. Then I reached out to someone in the Poconos. Right away, started sending me everything. It's unbelievable. And then the reason why we wanted Florida is because it means something to us. I was before I even met her, I was going down to Florida maybe 3-4 times a year because I loved it down there. And as a kid, I would go down there all the time. But then
What part of Florida?
In Orlando and then Miami.
Okay.
Miami, I really don't want anything to do with anymore. I'm kind of done with that.
I get it.
Yeah. But now it's the Gulf Coast. I mean, it's so laid back, and it just means so much to us from going to Naples, Marco Island, Tampa, St. Pete. And that's one of the reasons why we're looking down there. Someplace that we can get that's a single family, maybe a duplex, rent it out, have the mortgage paid off, and we can go down there, whenever, and then eventually we can call it our home. But there has to be an objective as to why you're looking, where you're looking.
Sure.
Like if we looked up in Cleveland, Ohio, it wouldn't be for a place for us to live. It would be, okay, let's see, how can we help someone and how can we cash flow at the same time? So for different areas, and the most important thing is the research. You need to know what's going on. Is there a huge job growth? Is a huge manufacturing plant coming in? What's going on down there? Why do people like this area so much? So if you're doing your due diligence and you truly know what you're looking for and everything kind of meets, then that's it.
What was when you're looking at this, what was the hardest area to really get going with? Was it Florida or is it New York? Which is the hardest area? And it's not difficult if you're, like I said, if you're paying attention to the market, it's not going to be difficult, but what was the hardest area to crack and really understand? In your opinion, do you have any or?
I would say the most challenging would be New York. That's
Okay.
my opinion. But again, I know people who are making a killing in New York. I think it's just because I have emotion tied to it where I just don't want to do that.
Sure.
But upstate is a little bit different, than the 5 boroughs on Long Island. But I would say New York, yeah, even though I live here. I think there's some things that are going to be changing soon. When, I don't know. But don't want to be in it.
Yeah,
You don't
I
wanna be
think
negative, right?
upstate is challenging too, just because there are a lot of opportunities where you see these gorgeous redone units that, the price seems right, but you just don't know how much tourism is essentially going to be there. Since things are so far in between.
Have you looked in Albany or anything like that? 'Cause I remember back in the day, I looked at a house in Albany. It was like $8,000
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
for a 2 or 3 family. It was ridiculous.
Not anymore.
I've been
no,
paying
right?
attention
Yeah.
up there. I know Syracuse has been brought up to our attention a few
Yeah.
times too. A lot of the college towns.
That's the best place to buy a house. Is by
Right, exactly, because you know that there's going to be a need for it, a need for the housing. But that market ebbs and flows too up there. So it's something that we've been interested in and researching, but it doesn't give us the same certainty that some of these other places where people are populating, the jobs are increasing, the opportunities are increasing. It's being developed, like you said, the economic and urban development is so important.
I think, one of the most important things is, like, we've been going to all the investor meetings and masterminds, and it's amazing information, but the challenge is staying focused on what you're looking for. Because someone can say, oh, I'm making a killing over here, and then you're like, oh, maybe I should try that.
Yeah.
And then you go and you look at that, and then you're like, you hear someone else say, oh, you know what, I did this. And then you go, so then you're not really focused.
Sure.
And I saw that really starting to happen to us, where we were kind of this way, all over. But as soon as you drill down and you know what you want and why you want it, then nothing can
It's
really,
a no-brainer.
Yeah.
nothing can really take your focus away. So that was most important.
It's hard though.
Very hard.
Again, a lot of people have some really good ideas.
I know,
Yeah.
it's very hard.
Shiny object syndrome.
That's
Very
right.
It's
hard.
It
everywhere.
really is.
Yes.
It's interesting. I'm buying a pizza store. That's a good
Right.
idea.
Right, yeah.
I remember like during COVID, there was one part I remember hitting my goals, and I was sitting there going, I want 5 pizzerias. I want this. I want that. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, how am I going to do all of this? You know, and it's because again, you set it so high because again, you're looking at you can conquer the world, and it's just you got to just sometimes sit back and take a breath and just say, all right, slow down a minute. you know?
Right.
And the funny thing is when you slow down is when you're thinking you're missing all your opportunities, so you got to jump back in. It's
Yes.
it's a poison that I guess in some way that it just gets so addicting. You know what I mean? It's like a drug in a way, where you get so addicted to doing it because it's so fun and challenging, and you know you never thought you would accomplish it. At least I didn't think I would.
Yeah.
Like, you got to remember, I was a New York City police officer. I grew up in Ravenswood Projects in Astoria, you know, and you know, my succession was okay. I'll get off the police department. I'll have a pension, and I'll do okay. You know,
Right.
you know, and I did pretty good by just getting into the real estate business and sitting back and listening to people and just paying attention. It did okay for myself, you know, where I wasn't that way though. I usually just boom, go, and then when I sat back and just said, okay, let me weigh my options out here. Let me see what it is. And that's when I really think I started hitting the ground and really taking off. What are we looking the future? Again, we talked a little bit about your goals here. It's been a while. It was good podcast here. Thank you for joining. This is great. I really
for
enjoyed
having
this.
us.
Thank you for having me.
What am I going to see for you in the next year? Like, what do you? I know you told me your goals that you set for this year, and okay, maybe next year we're going to hit them. So you guys sit down January to revisit your goals. What are we going to be talking about? Is it going to be the 100 doors?
Well, so it could be more. I mean, we had a meeting with one of our coaches, and they put us on a path where this is really possible. And just even being this excited and saying this and just knowing it's a possibility, I mean, it's unbelievable. And the resources we have, the connections we built, the genuine connections with people in Keller Williams, there's no way it can't happen. There's no way. And with me focusing on the investments and Colleen focusing on the listings, I mean, there's just so much that's intertwined where it's all possible. And everything is really lined up in that way. As far as a set goal, I don't know. It's not September yet. September is when I really start.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I start lining up my goals in September for the next year.
That's awesome.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm not
There you go.
sure.
That's awesome. What would I be
Yeah.
to do to help you? Because again, you said it's more about contributing, right, to others. What can I do to help you guys?
I think being here already was just super cool because we met you a little over a year ago at the KW picnic. And a year later, we're back and we're chatting about real estate investing. And it's just amazing to see that come full circle and to be sitting here right now. I think that Keller Williams and the core already do a phenomenal job of providing us with everything that we need on a day-to-day. There's no place better to be as a real estate professional than in the core. And
I appreciate that.
I truly mean that.
You know, it's funny you asked me that question because I don't know if I've really ever had many people ever ask me that. I'm usually
That's-
always the one asking.
That's kind of scary
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Yeah.
Especially in
I'm
our work,
usually-
yeah.
I'm usually always the one saying, "How can I help you? What can I do for you?" I appreciate
Well,
it.
I honestly want you to think about that and then let me know.
I
Because
will.
I'm genuine when I say
Yeah,
it.
thank
I
you.
enjoy it. I enjoy getting involved with people's businesses. And again, it's just exciting to me
Yeah.
watching people grow. And And again, knowing that I was there, that maybe that's why I'm like that too, like you said. But I was the opposite. When I've been in Keller a long time now. It's been almost 20 years. It's scary, right? Yeah, it's going to be 17 years. I've been in Keller,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And I started with a company called America's Bravest, which was sort of like Keller in a way. It was like a mom and pop. And I always looked at Keller as like a bunch of mom and pops in the same office. And it was just, and Keller was the tools that just gave you the business to run your business. So I always felt that my team was always run like a small office within a bigger, environment and with support all around it. And then, one of the things that I accomplished was, listening to a lot of people around me, and I'm not just saying this because she's sitting there. You get Julia, you get Erica, you get Lauren, you get, when you have amazing people working with you, not for you, with you as a partnership, and you could only imagine what you guys can do together. It's amazing what people can do when they put their heads together and go out there and do it. So that's why I come from always contribution and help, because again, it's not what I can do for you. It's what we're going to do together that's going to accomplish it, where we're both going to succeed in it. And it's not being greedy. It's just being smart, where it's just easier to work together than work against each other. And I've been talking to so many agents across, like, not even in the core, and that's what everybody is truly looking for. Just that, you don't have to be told what to do. Just be able to spin things off of each other, which is pretty cool. And that's one of the things I enjoyed about when I first met you guys, that you were so open to talking and again, coming on this and being open and sharing your story. I really learned a lot today. I really appreciate it. And I just want to say once again, thank you so much for coming in. I really look forward to your future. I'm excited, and I'm expecting a call from you. Sorry to point at you, but I want a call from you. Tell you what I can do to help you guys.
Thank you so much.
Great for jumping
That's
on, guys.
amazing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.